the Phoenix Suns are really good. You know what I mean? I don't know who would have expected that. I did personally because I'm a Suns fan, but it's fan bias, okay? I didn't exactly think it was going to actually be true, but they are really good. Big part of that being obviously Dillon Brooks. He's been playing phenomenally, offensively, defensively. He's been hitting shots like crazy. He's been hitting those little spin turnaround fades in the mid range. He's been sinking them like crazy. He's been doing everything that you need from him, just being a culture shifter like he has been on essentially every other team he's ever been on. And I think another big aspect of it as well is purely just three-point shooting. The Suns are third in three-point shooting in the league right now. They're tied with the Golden State Warriors at about 333 threes per game. And like you can really see that in the game. You can tell that every single time they're on a play, they're focused on getting the three open, sinking the three. And it's so interesting to see because their star player, obviously Devin Booker, he got injured now, but prior to that, he has not been having a good season as far as three-point shooting goes. Same with Nigel Hayes-Davis, and it's pretty much it. Everyone else has been having career years as far as three-point shooting goes, especially Colin Gillespie, especially Dillon Brooks. Yeah, like I said, they're third in three-pointers made. Obviously, they're not up there for three-point percentage because they really are just chucking them, but it's working. And I think a big reason as to why it's working is they're keeping possessions up. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're leading the league in steals right now with 10.9 a game, 0.5 over the OKC Thunder. So it's just one of the things that allows them to, even if they miss the three, the other team gets the ball back, they steal it back. And like you really saw it yesterday in the game against the Lakers, where I think I saw like a 2-minute period where the Suns just kept stealing the ball from the Lakers. The Lakers had no chance to ever come back because every single time they would try, the ball would just get picked off Luka, the ball would get picked off on an inbound. Just playing extremely good defense, getting steals when they can, playing hard all the time, which is so different from what we ever saw with the Phoenix Suns. Specifically last year and a couple of the years before that, essentially all of the Kevin Durant teams, they were overall pretty weak as far as like keeping up the pace. Like I can specifically recall like multiple games at which the Suns would be leading going into the fourth quarter, but you would just know they're going to lose. Because you just see them slowly start to slow down. You see them slowly stop the play. It reminds me a bit of the OKC game against, I believe it was the people they played last night. It was the Dallas Mavericks. Where going into that fourth quarter, they were just sluggish. They just kind of stopped trying in the fourth quarter. And you can really feel that in the games. You can feel when the team stops trying. And I think it's so interesting because even with the Suns team, it doesn't matter if they're down. It doesn't matter if they're down 20, if they're down 10, if they're down 15. It doesn't matter if they're up 10, up 15, up 20. You know they're going to keep on trying. And you definitely saw aspects of that yesterday in the Lakers game where they would be up 15. Colin Gillespie will still be pulling up for threes and sinking them. Colin Gillespie is easily my pick right now for most improved player. Again, fan bias. Same thing with me thinking Jordan Knott is my pick for coach of the year. But I could also very easily see an argument for JB Bickerstaff. He's been amazing for the Pistons. But in general, yeah, the Suns, they beat up on the Lakers. It's always fun to see if your team's not the Lakers. And yeah, they're just managing things that no one ever expected. And I think the most impressive part for all of this, for me, is the fact that they did this with a large portion without Grayson Allen. Now, no Devin Booker yesterday, essentially, because he went out in the first quarter. No Jalen Green. Not having Mark Williams at all on back-to-backs. And Mark Williams has really been a difference maker to me. You can definitely tell, we have a bit of a shell as far as a backup center goes. You think we wouldn't with Nick Richards and Malach, but obviously Malach is young. He's quite a raw prospect. There's a lot of things that he does not do right at this point, but I'm sure he will eventually. Jordan Knott has been amazing as far as developing big men go. It really feels like a piece is missing every single time Mark Williams is out. And I feel like you can even kind of see that even if you just watch the box scores. You know, with the OKC game, it being within 4 points, which was an amazing showing by the Suns, keeping it that close, especially since a team that dominant. And then immediately they play against the Nuggets the next day, having no Malach, having no Mark Williams, especially against Jokic. You can really, really feel that gap. Defensively, you can feel it. Offensively, you can feel it. Because Mark Williams just manages to do so much. And I'm almost certain that the Lakers are very much so regretting not trading Dalton Connect for him. But That's just me. I can't even imagine how good the Lakers would be if they had him right now. Imagine Luka throwing lobs to him. It'd be wacky. And that's no shade to Ayton. Ayton has been very, very good for them. Yeah, he just obviously has a lot of questions that he's in the process of answering. So, I'm happy to see that for Ayton. Happy to see him playing well. Again, I personally did not expect it, but I've never hid that. I've never hid the fact that I question Ayton quite heavily. But honestly, because right now the Suns, they're the 7th seed. I can easily see them finishing 5th or 6th seed, quite easily. I would not be surprised if I saw them end up not being in the play-in at all. I could definitely see that being a possibility, especially because I personally do think that they are better than the Timberwolves and the Spurs. Obviously, we have to see what happens now with Booker's injury, how long it's going to take for Jalen Green to come back. But I would not be surprised to see them just straight up be in the playoffs, no play-in. But also, I wouldn't be surprised to see them make it to the playoffs through the play-in because they just feel like one of those teams. They're definitely one of the last teams. If I was a coach, they're one of the last teams I would ever want to play in a playing game because you just know, even if you get up 30 points in the first quarter, they will try to come back, and they most likely will. Colin Gillespie will turn on his magnet ball, and he will sink 18 threes, just all in the second half, and it'll be glorious. But yeah, Colin Gillespie, he's extremely underrated in my opinion. I know obviously people are starting to give him a bit of love now, but I feel like for the longest time he was not given the respect he deserves, especially last year on the Suns. For Mike Budenholzer essentially refusing to play Colin Gillespie, he gave him very few minutes, and even as a fan, you could see every single time he'd be in the game, he would be a difference maker. He would always play hard. And especially last year when the Suns had a massive shortage of players that were willing to play hard all the time, it's great to see him. It's great to see him there. I feel like a big part of that as well is with Dillon Brooks. He makes players that wouldn't normally play hard. He makes them play hard. He will get on their ass. He will make them push. For example, Royce O'Neal, he's playing phenomenally now. He's one of the best three-point shooters in the league. Grayson Allen was as well before his injury. Colin Gillespie is now. All amazing for the Suns. I can't wait to see Grayson Allen get back into his the little tear he was on before he got injured, because he was playing phenomenally. Genuinely, he was in conversation for most improved player, everything like that. And then basically he got injured. Colin Gillespie stole that chain and he moved on with it. But yeah, I'm just really curious to see what the possibility for this team is. One, they are finally healthy. One, we have Devin Booker out there, Jalen Green out there, and obviously healthy Grayson Allen. All things that we have been lacking severely so far this year. And I think the team will be even better. And that's why I do think the team is better than the Spurs. I do think they're better than Timberwolves. Spurs, I have a bit closer than I do the Timberwolves. I think the Timberwolves have a massive issue right now. Mainly point guard play, mainly just someone to facilitate in open run. Well, also with coaching as well. I think they need to fire. Coach Fink. He's not good in my opinion. Especially, we saw a lot in the game in which the Suns beat the Timberwolves. I had a whole video about this, but yeah, Coach Finch needs to go. He's not good. He's not a good coach. So yeah, I genuinely believe the Suns could easily finish above them. The Suns could probably, I think it would be close with the Spurs. I don't think the Spurs are a good team, but I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, the Suns have been a bit better whenever they play each other. The Suns have beat them, I think, both times that they've played against each other. So I think if it came down to it, if the Suns were playing them in the play-in, I would absolutely take the Suns to win that. But yeah, I feel like the sky is really the limit for this team. I think they have a lot of capabilities. I feel like there's a lot of potential behind all of this. And I just cannot wait to see them actually have actually have the capability to fulfill that potential. And I think all it starts with is just, getting rid of some of these injuries. I think one of the craziest things right now to me is you really wouldn't notice this much when you're watching the Suns, but they're one of the bottom teams in the league as far as pace goes. Well, they're 23rd, so they're in the bottom 10. But I genuinely think that will probably skyrocket as soon as Jalen Green's get back, because Jalen Green's basically his whole game is just get out in transition, dunking the ball, playing quick. And I think having him on the court will benefit the Suns greatly. We already saw in the one game that we had of him, with him dropping 29, shooting 50% from three, essentially. He was phenomenal, and I can't wait to see more of him. Specifically next to Booker. I think they had a lot of chemistry, a lot more than I feel like a lot of people were expecting. I remember before the season started, there was a lot of talk about, oh, Jalen Green is ball dominant, Devin Booker's ball dominant, they're not going to work together. But I think they actually do. I think they work really well together. I think also, obviously, him being back will help Booker's three-point shooter a lot. Obviously, Booker has been missing a lot of open threes, especially in transition. But I do genuinely believe having someone else out there that can facilitate besides him will help him a lot. I remember even in that one game we had of Jalen Green, Devin Booker did hit a few threes off of Jalen Green passes, and I think that will be extremely important for this team. Sometimes have Jalen Green run the point, bring the ball up, drive and kick to Booker, or drive and kick to Grayson Allen, drive and kick to Colin Gillespie. They get doubled, kick out to Booker. I feel like there's so much possibility with how many good shooters are on this team, just in order to get everyone open looks. I genuinely believe there could be a game at which the Suns just take only open threes. Obviously, once fully healthy, I can 100% see that as a possibility with just how many shooters there are. Defenders are going to have to jump if Grayson Allen has the ball. Defenders are going to have to jump if Colin Gillespie has the ball, if Royce O'Neal has the ball, even if Jalen Green has the ball, if Booker has the ball. And so I just think there's a lot of possibilities here for just amazingness. I think this team could be great. Honestly, I cannot wait to see them healthy because I'm holding back a lot of very insane hot takes until this team is properly healthy. But I genuinely, at this current point, from what I know now, I believe this team could easily make it to like the second or third round in the playoffs. Third round? Actually, no, not the third round. That's a bit crazy. But I can definitely see this team making the second round. There's a lot of very favorable matchups that I would absolutely take them in. I think even if they had a matchup against OKC, I could see them easily pushing it to 6. Maybe not 7. 7 is a bit, but I could see the Suns stealing 2 games, especially with the way that they play. Have a couple amazing shooting games and just, shoot lights out. Yeah, so I'm just really curious to see what this team can do, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will be uploading every single day of the month of December up until Christmas. So I hope you guys all watch, subscribe, enjoy, like the videos, comment if you disagree with anything that I said. And thank you. Peace.